I resisted sarcastically asking, is there a new version of ITIL out or something on my LinkedIn profile last week? One scroll through my feed and there was one topic at the end of everyone's fingertips, ITIL version 5. Now, given this channel is aimed at folk where ITIL probably figures quite heavily in our day-to-day lives, I thought it would be remiss of me not to add my own views. So here goes. Consistent with most conversations, it seems, about the subject of ITIL, the views have ranged from thank the Lord, with this new version we are saved, to ITIL's been dead and buried for years, this is a shameless attempt at keeping it relevant and charging people for the privilege, to a more ambivalent so what. Now, at the risk of getting splinters in my arse from sitting on the fence, my views are probably somewhere in the middle of that lot. Firstly, no, a new version of ITIL is not like the scriptures handed down from the service management gods, where if we apply it religiously, it will lead us to a service management promised land. Now, as with previous versions, I think those that have tried to push ITIL as some authoritative standard quickly run out of road. Never has it been do X plus Y and you'll end up with Z. Instead, the intention has been to introduce and maintain a common lexicon, a shared view to drive consistency. Now, and as the world changes, as the landscape to which it is applied changes, that language too needs to remain relevant and current. Now, think about the Oxford English Dictionary. It's constantly refreshed as new words come, old words go, and more broadly, as society changes. And the same is true here. Imagine if we were still talking in ITIL V1 or V2 terms in this day and age, it would be immensely out of date, out of context, irrelevant, and therefore useless. So it has to change. And this latest change is most likely a reflection on the things that have changed or evolved in the last 5 years, opposed to describing explicitly the things that we should be doing in service management over the next 5 years. Then I've seen comments about the relative proximity to version 4. Think about the gap between version 3 and 4. Then in a relatively short period of time, 5 comes along. Loads of organisations are still working in the V3 world. And this new version is just a cash cow attempt to sell more ITIL when we don't really need it. Taking a slightly less cynical view, I think this is more to do with the pace of change. We know that the pace of change is ever increasing. Therefore, if frameworks like ITIL are to stay relevant, they have to match that pace of change. AI, certainly to a lot of people in service management, simply didn't figure in our day-to-day thoughts when V4 was released. Whereas, aside from all the posts last week about version 5, you simply can't ignore AI. It's everywhere. Its growing adoption and the effects that it has on how we design, implement, and manage technology services. Lastly, on that point about relevance, in my mind, ITIL is probably akin to like the highway code. Now, a new version of the highway code is probably not, definitely not, going to be seen as the answer to any and all challenges that those people who drive a vehicle face on a day-to-day basis. It's not going to address potholes in the road, it's not going to address the price of fuel, autonomous vehicles, but imagine a world where it didn't exist, or where we used a version that was created back when the horse and cart were the primary users of highways. It'd be chaos to the point we wouldn't get behind a wheel. So to wrap up, I think a new version of ITIL is an essential positive thing for our domain, but we should probably contextualise that. It's not manna from heaven. It's not going to solve all of the challenges we face day to day in service management, but sensible alignment in the context of your organisation where you are right now will help you stay on the right path. Here's to version 6 next year.